Well, guys, welcome to another episode of Into the West Comics. We came back again.
We did.
My name is Frank. I'm with here. I'm with here.
I don't know.
I'm with her here too with you.
My name's Sunny. Hi, guys.
That's what I meant to say.
This is episode 3. Thank you for coming back.
And we already got bloopers.
We do.
We're going to talk about a few things today. We're gonna talk about an incredible actor that we lost over the weekend.
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman.
Rest in peace.
We're gonna talk about Milestone Media making a comeback. This sounds like in a digital format towards the end of the year. Yeah. We're gonna talk about a movie that we both saw. We're gonna talk about a movie that only one of us saw, and we're gonna talk about some other things that will be coming up on the weekend, or I guess the weekend starts in a couple hours. So we're going to talk about something that's happening probably when we get home tonight. We'll start watching.
I think it's on right now.
I think it's on right now, yeah. So, Sonny, first off, we're going to talk about Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, the Black Panther. I think it's terrible what happened. I think it just shows the strength of him as a person, that he was fighting with it for so long and didn't tell anybody.
Oh, yeah. 4 years.
4 years worth. He did a not an interview, but he was sitting down with a couple of cancer patients, talking about the same cancer that he actually passed away from, talking about like you can get through it and all this kind of stuff. And you could just you could see that he was, I don't know, it hit him in a certain place.
Sure.
And I don't know, man, it sucks so bad. They were just getting ready to start with Black Panther 2. He did incredible in 42. It's sad. It's really sad, because as a young black kid, I always wanted a superhero that I could kind of relate to. And then getting older, we get a huge Marvel movie. It was one of the biggest box office successes in Marvel. It was awesome.
It was.
It's crazy. It made
great.
A lot. And then something so terrible to happen when he died so young. It sucks, man. It really does.
It's really it speaks volumes to what he was able to do as an actor and portraying that character.
Yeah.
When you think about everything coming full circle to where, like you're saying, little boys that are Hispanic or Black or Asian, and they grow up, trying to identify with the white hero that they see on screen, and that it came full circle with this. That I took my nephews, they are pale white. Okay. I took both of my nephews to see Black Panther, and
they came out ending like Wakanda Forever. I want to be Black Panther for Halloween.
And it was like, I'm Killmonger, I'm T'Challa. Like, we're going to kill each other. And they're like fighting in the movie theater. It was amazing. But it's like, it's cool that kind of comes full circle for what he was able to do. Him as an actor, he spoke volumes to the character, and you never know. I mean, I've read Black Panther in comics, in the 80s and 90s, and never think in my wildest dreams that there would even be a Marvel universe, 20 plus films of this connected universe, and then he played such a huge part,
a huge role.
And it was awesome, and I mean, he did such a good job, and in introducing us to this whole universe that is Wakanda.
Dude, Civil War, when he kind of comes in, I was talking about it earlier, when he fights Bucky in the first time when he's on the rooftop, if Cap didn't come in and save him, Bucky would have got smacked.
He would have.
You know what I mean? His agility, super strength, he has a healing factor. Everything that doesn't have the suit, he's already killing it. Then he puts on this vibranium suit, and it's power absorption and all kind of everything. He's running super speed. It's awesome to watch.
It was the movie, and the movie itself, Black Panther, was, I mean, just awesome. It just takes you to some other place that you're not even like.
We didn't even know it was there.
Nope.
And it's highly technology. They have one of the strongest militaries in the world, but they're humble and they're quiet. They want to keep to themselves. You know what I mean?
Not wanting to share, any of their technology or anything with the rest of the world. I mean, we think about a character like that, and I want to say really quickly about Chadwick Boseman, the person. Everything you ever read about the guy was just that he had such a level of humility,
right?
And he was compassionate, and that he took time to visit all the. I had a former student, the church that I volunteered at. I had a former student that passed away from leukemia,
Oh man.
and he had another friend of his that was also suffering from child leukemia, and Chadwick Boseman contacted him,
Oh wow.
and it's just like lit him up,
Of
just like
course.
it's and if you're thinking about like the timeline for everything that was going on, he probably had cancer
He
at that
definitely
moment.
had it and he was fighting with it. He didn't tell anybody, but he wanted everybody
No,
else maybe that was fighting with it to know that look, it's okay. And I'm sure he probably shared that off camera
yeah.
and whatever.
Thoughts and prayers to his family, man. It's just, ugh, gosh. I mean, for everybody too is like we didn't really know what was happening when everything had
Oh.
happened at the time. I mean, it's all of a sudden it's like he passed away, and then
Yeah, I was running around work and I got
right now everybody's thinking, well, he passed away. He had COVID,
right, of course.
not knowing that he had been going through colon cancer
4
for
years.
4 years.
4 years battling with it, man.
So, man,
I think I'm sure Marvel and Kevin Feige will do their best to, uphold his memory and stuff. I don't ever think that it should get recasted.
I don't either.
Um, real quick, you know me and my theories. What if they find the Soul Stone, bring back Killmonger? Because at the end, he had like a change of heart. He was
Yeah.
kind of understanding to be good. You bring back Killmonger. He vows to protect Wakanda and upholds the mantle as the new Black Panther. Either that or Shuri gets it.
I think it's going to be Shuri.
Probably.
Michael B. Jordan actually was one of the actors that was reading for the part of
Yeah.
T'Challa and didn't get it and didn't think he would be involved in any capacity.
And then gets the next big role.
And then he gets the villain role. And, you know, I don't want to speculate on what they would do. It's going to be exciting,
Yeah.
whatever they do. I mean, in the next coming months, it might be something that they move out of the rotation as far as what they're going to do for right now,
Could be.
because they're going to have a lot of projects they're going to have to be working on. We have a lot of things that we're still waiting on
Oh
from
my
all of
God.
2020 that we
20
don't know when
movies.
it's. So we'll see how that gets developed. But I mean, again, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Just all around good guy. Wakanda forever.
For sure, man.
We were talking a little bit last week. We heard some buzz with DC Fandom talking about the big four, the guys that founded in the 90s, the guys that founded Milestone Media,
Yes.
Dwayne McDuffie, Dennis Cowan, Derek Dingle, and I wrote it down, Michael Davis.
There you go.
They're all the co-founders. Dwayne McDuffie, RIP, is no longer with us. But if you guys know Dwayne McDuffie, if you were a kid a few years back, you knew who Dwayne McDuffie was because he started Justice League Unlimited and Ben 10, and he was a lead animator and editor and storyboard genius for everything that took place within Milestone Media.
That's awesome.
And Dennis Cowan is, if you know, I mean, comic books at all, Dennis Cowan was a generational talent.
Heavy hitter.
Black Panther, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Question. I mean, the original Question series. He did all those interiors.
So sick.
He's a big name in it, and now Milestone Media is coming back.
It is, and I'm super excited, man. Especially like I was talking about going back as a young black kid. There wasn't as many superheroes that I could relate to, and then I found Static Shock. And I'm like, whoa, Static is really cool.
And it might be a movie.
So they're working on something.
They're talking about
The
it.
WB, I don't know. It might be animated. Somebody might get casted to be really cool.
Mhm.
I'm not too stoked on the CW one. I think all the CW shows are a little
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good to watch.
Sure.
I think with their lineup though, Icon is crossed over into Young Justice.
Uh-huh.
I think they have some type of contract where they can use each other's heroes for certain things. Icon is basically a 400-year-old alien. It's kind of has a story of Superman.
Mhm.
Crash lands. His physiology is way more advanced, so he has, a healing factor, a super speed. He can fly. He has like an electromagnetic kind of pulse, not like a laser beams like Supes. But but there was a crossover episode where they were not episode something. They were trying to fool somebody, and Icon punched Superman out of the atmosphere as a joke, and they both were trying to pull a ruse on somebody. And he was like, "How's your hand?" He was like, "It's almost healed." You know what I mean? So to be able to punch Superman that hard,
Yeah,
you got to be a certain kind of level.
I think that right now, especially, we want more characters, and we want more media platforms. And I mean, believe it or not, folks, I want more comics. I want more stuff to read.
You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I don't think people believe it. If you saw my room right now, you wouldn't believe that I want more comics. But I want to see these characters brought back.
Yeah.
You know, we've had 7 relaunches of all these other mainstream characters with Marvel and Disney. We can see, Marvel and Disney, Marvel and DC. We can have a relaunch with Milestone. I think it would be really cool. I think the timing's great.
I think the timing's great. I think the artistry is amazing. How they make it a little bit more dark and gritty. It's awesome. There's Rocket is Icon's kind of not partner, not sidekick, but involved.
Yeah.
We have Hardware, which is a younger genius that was working for a not so nice guy, developing tech. Kind of ends up with like an Iron Man-ish kind of suit.
It's kind of like an Iron Man that has the initiative to kind of start his own.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's Hardware, awesome character. Static, I think though, is going to be their main heavy hitter.
Yeah. We're excited to see it.
I'm so stoked. Anything they put out, I'm gonna hop on it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they go and what their what the long-term plan is for this, because we need it. We're not sure what's going to be happening in the future for DC. We've talked about it multiple times about what the platforms are going to look like, and if we're going to get more digital content. We're not really sure. So we both saw a movie, the movie of the year, the movie that we've been talking about is the film of the year that I think it lived up to the hype. I'm still confused. But it was really good.
I think it was an excellent movie. I think put together, it was so awesome to see what we were waiting for and to see if we picked out anything that was true. Some of them was, some of them wasn't. It's so hard to kind of keep up. I think a second or a third pass is really when you can kind of respect that movie.
We're speaking, of course, of Tenet.
Tenet.
Christopher Nolan has melted my brain again every couple of years. He's got my head spinning. I thought Washington did a great job. I thought Pattinson was great.
I think Pattinson did an awesome job. It was made me excited for Batman.
It did. And I heard this from my buddy. Who said that Pattinson found out that he was going to be doing Batman when they were making the movie, and him and Nolan never spoke to each other about it. They never said anything, but Nolan knew he was going to be offered the job. But they never talked about it.
That's interesting.
And I think that's like it's a respect thing, or he doesn't really want to influence his type of decision, because it looks like we're going to get a dark Batman film. But obviously it's kind of touching on that tone of what Nolan did with his Batman movies.
Definitely.
But he didn't want to comment or have any type of input. But Nolan knew the conversation was taking place. Robert Pattinson got the position, got the job, and he never really talked about it.
I think he probably, like you said, a respect thing. They probably just wanted to get that project done because it was so much involved with what was going on that if he started to maybe even worry or question himself a little bit about the new Batman, maybe wouldn't have got the same performance.
So you've been doing a deep dive on Tenet. You saw the movie 2 nights ago, and you already have 4 notebooks full of. No, I'm just kidding.
I have
lots of notes.
I have a lot.
You have a lot. Breaking it down.
I was breaking it down. I think
blowing my mind.
Okay, hold on. Spoiler alert. All right, I'm going to talk about Tenet now. I think personally, Robert Pattinson was more of a main character than we really think. I think he might have been who the movie was actually about. I think we get the protagonist. Washington did an awesome job, but
he killed it.
All right, so follow me real quick. So if you were to think about a palindrome, it's, Tenet being spelled forward and backwards itself. You take Max, the kid's name, Kat's son. You take, of course, he couldn't introduce himself as Max as an older guy because it would make a paradox. Washington our protagonist would know something was going on. So you take the end of Maximilian. You flip the last 4 letters of Maximilian, it spells Neil. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Maybe I'm digging too far.
I'm with you.
Okay, so you're following a little bit. So I think that he was raised bilingual by Sator because he understood how to catch the what is the Estonian backwards in the car. He knew our protagonist's favorite drink, what he preferred. Means Diet Coke over club soda. And at the end, he said, "This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, something that I've known." So I'm kind of thinking, what if at the end, when our protagonist gets that phone call, kills Priya, saves the day, maybe he joins the family and they live happily ever after.
Right.
Max gets a little older. He finds out a story that mommy and her friends saved the entire world from my evil daddy's trick. I'm going to go to get my PhD in physics that he learns. He eventually gets recruited by our boy, and then it sets off this grandfather effect kind of thing.
Right.
I know it's hard because the movie is so hard and complex, but if you stick with those couple kind of things, certain things tie together and make sense more than others.
What I stick to a couple, I would think about now that you started to expand on your dissertation. We're talking about this insider stuff that you had. I think about when she mentions about the woman that jumps off the boat that she didn't recognize.
She thought he was having an affair.
Yes. And it was her.
It was her the whole time.
Also, the fact that you're saying that Max is going by Neil, if this is the same person.
If it is.
If he's going by Neil and he's speaking to her, and he knows that when they have to cross back over the through the inversion deal.
The inversion machine.
Yes. He's talking to her, or he's commenting, she's going to be fine.
Right.
As if to say, like, well, I know because
I've done it.
grown up, and I've grown up seeing her as I got older be okay.
Like this was okay. And that could mean a thing. And even going back, I'm thinking about, all right, he would have to be 20 years old or something to go back and like recognize he was old enough to make a change and do the inversion. What if he, I don't know, man, I stayed up so late thinking about this. What if he goes in and comes out of one way? Does that age you in any difference? You could be going back in 20 years, or excuse me, aging to 20 years, and then going back 10 or 40 or 30.
Okay, but for his character to be so comfortable with it.
He's comfortable and smooth the whole time.
So he's gone through it at least a few times.
I count 4. I think there's 4 timelines we're witnessing in this movie. Because there's the original.
I got to watch it again.
2 or 3 times.
I think I'm going to have to watch it 4 more times.
I mean, we can do a Tenet like sequence, and I'll sit here and nerd out about it the whole time.
And we could totally take Sonny's turn. We could totally Tenet it.
You could Tenet it. I'm copywriting that.
So great. Trademark.
Real quick, Sator's Square. Okay, so it's a ancient palindrome in Latin. Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. If you play them out in a straight line, they'll play themselves back. The words Sator, Arepo, Tenet, Opera, Rhotus. And they all, of course, he's such a great guy. He makes all of those mean something in the movie. Sator, of course, bad guy's last name.
Yep.
Arepo is the bootleg artist that they were trying to
buy. They're trying to buy the copy of the
Tenet, the movie. Opera show. It's where everything kind of went down. And Rhotus is the security company, the art company that they were going underground to do. So I think it's interesting that he's putting all of these palindromes, all of these things inside of the movie, but you can't tell me that Maximilian's last 4 letters aren't a palindrome for Neil? Why does he care? Or excuse me, not even why does he care? Why did he save Kat? He was just a regular field agent. He got a master's in physics. How does he know how to take an inverted bullet out of somebody that we thought was impossible?
You're right. I mean, I need this. I gotta see the movie again, man. I think it was crazy.
I think I might be onto something. I might just be.
Think about for a second, Sonny, how, not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Think about how Nolan just jumps into these movies and how he kind of has you by the throat with the pacing of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it really felt eeringly similar to the pace of Dark Knight with some of it in the first and like the last act.
I can see that.
It just keeps like building and
I
building.
thought 45 minutes before it ended, I thought it was going to leave us on a cliffhanger and I was going to be pissed, and then Tenet 2 was going to come out. And then there was that whole desert fight scene where everything started to go a little more wacky.
There was groups going back. Yeah.
There was 2 different travels, and then Pattinson goes back a 3rd time to make sure everything kind of so.
Okay, so we both saw Tenet.
Clearly.
Last Friday, I saw another movie that was new in theaters. And it was not as good as Tenet. I won't be mentioning this movie and Tenet in the same sentence again after this. The movie is New Mutants. The movie was interesting. It was delayed, the project.
7 times.
Delayed, yeah, I was going to say several, but yeah, about 6-7 times it had been delayed. The movie was re-edited. It was going to be a horror movie, then they wanted to change it to not make it a horror movie, then they try to add some darker elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, if you like New Mutants, and if you read the New Mutants comics at all, go see the movie.
Fair enough.
I think that some of the characters you're going to like. Unless you're paying attention, they don't really call them by the characters' names that often. Again, the movie is 94 minutes long, okay? But I wanted to pick out some highlights for you about the movie.
Yeah, we can't just talk negatively all about it. There has to be a couple things that meant.
Okay, so there's like this faceless, whatever, like ghost people that are like haunting Illyana's character, Illyana Rasputin, who is the sister of Colossus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Illyana is being haunted by these ghost face men, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The voice of the faceless man is Marilyn Manson.
Nice.
So that was cool. I didn't really realize that until he spoke like the 3rd or 4th time he appeared in the thing, and I didn't know until they rolled the credits that it was actually Marilyn Manson. Nice. Oh, that sounds like Marilyn Manson because of all the Marilyn Manson music I listened to. And then also Lockheed.
Yeah.
Lockheed is like this little cute stuffed animal, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just like this crossover later on where Illyana goes full out, like she's magic. Like she's like...
She has the armor.
She's got the armor. She's throwing the sword around. She's trying to slash the demon bear and all this stuff.
Nice.
Lockheed turns into this little CGI dragon breathing fire and like blowing like blue flame at the bear.
Out of nowhere from like...
Yes.
There was... I'm sure... I don't know.
It was cool. Okay. That's another highlight. And the other one I had was that if you guys are, old school comic book readers, if you're familiar with the old New Mutants comic series from the 80s, the artist Bill Sienkiewicz did a lot of the art for a lot of those early covers for the original New Mutants series back in the 80s, like 86, 87. And they asked him to do sketches, like renderings of all the actors in character.
Nice.
And they did like a comparison thing instead of like a post-credit scene. They did a comparison thing
of like with the characters that got casted and then the artwork,
and then the artwork from the 80s. That's kind of thing. They're like going back and forth with it.
Nice.
I thought that was kind of cool.
It's a nice touch.
Okay, the movie itself is not that great, and then I wanted to make the Stark connection because we've had 3 episodes. We haven't talked about Game of Thrones. Okay, I don't know how often we're going to talk about Game of Thrones. It's been over for a year.
Unless they come out with that little side project that they were talking about.
Oh, that's right. Game of Thrones, A New Generation. Or whatever it's called.
Game of Thrones 2.
Still Lannister.
Or redoing the last season.
Right.
Something.
Redo the last season. Please. Get in.
It was bad.
Get on it. Arya Stark.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Sansa.
Mm-hmm.
We know them as... Maisie Williams and Sophie Turner.
Sophie Turner, yeah.
Mrs. Jonas. They she's had a baby.
I think they just did have a baby.
Yeah. They are in probably arguably top 3 HBO series all time. Maybe it's the top 2.
Maybe top 2. And who's one?
I don't know.
Entourage was really huge.
Some people say Sopranos. Maybe Ballers. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah. Ballers was good. It wasn't that great.
Yeah. But Game of Thrones was like
huge,
like a standard, right?
Yeah.
These girls grew up for like 9-10 years
in the biggest, hottest show of television.
They grew up in front of our eyes on this show. Okay,
Right.
They are part of 2 of the worst comic book films. Like, think about that. They peaked being part of the series, right?
Yeah, the It series.
And then it's like now they're in these 2 movies, and you're like, ooh, gosh.
I would rather turn the channel than put on Dark Phoenix, for sure.
Okay, so I was telling you that right before we started.
Oh yeah.
Today, New Mutants is probably a little bit worse than Dark Phoenix. Some people would probably say that it might be better than Dark Phoenix, but I think it's a little bit worse.
That's really bad.
Than Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix was rough.
It was rough to watch because I think I was so excited to see like these characters kind of play out, and the new Jean Grey and how they were going to do the Phoenix Force and all this kind of stuff, and it was really underwhelming.
And we know too that there's not going to be another New Mutants movie. Like there's connectivity as far as them naming other characters in Marvel and stuff, but there isn't going to be another film.
Like, did they mention like Professor X in the school at all? Okay,
they did.
Did Eliana mention she has a brother?
I don't remember. I don't think so. Okay. I don't think she talked about her family being like that. She was isolated and these people took advantage of her and whatever. Like they kind of sold like her being sold like into slavery type of thing, and that that she was always scared that she'd have nightmares. But a lot of that stuff could be Danny Moonstar kind of manipulating them, you know. And the thing too is that the kid from Stranger Things was in it. He plays Cannonball. They don't refer to him as Cannonball. They just say that he shot off like a cannonball. They don't really refer to Sunspot, whatever's in it. And it's like they don't really say, they say something is burning brighter than the sun. They don't really call him Sunspot. It's like they don't really acknowledge or whatever. But again, all that stuff plays a part when the movie is 94 minutes long. And maybe that was edited out. And maybe they had a roll call and they had them all lined up and they're calling them by their nickname.
Power Rangers. I'm Cannonball.
Right. Shape of whatever. Oh no, wait a minute. That's like the Wonder Twins. I don't know. But so yeah, I would give it,
1 out of 10.
Probably, yeah, I'd probably give it a 1 out of 10. I thought you were predicting what I was going to grade it. No, like a 2 or something, a 2 or a 3, and then I would say that Dark Phoenix is probably a 4.
All right.
I mean, I haven't rewatched Dark Phoenix.
I think it was on HBO a little while ago. I watched it.
Okay. I thought a second ago you said you changed channel, so you didn't watch it. Like, did you watch it? Like, are you backtracking now?
Well, that the train scene where Magneto
that's cool.
That was cool. I like that.
There's always positives you can take out of any comic book movie. Yeah. I mean, there's a scene or two that you're like, okay, the movie wasn't very good. It's like because a lot of people really like Captain Marvel. I did not, but a lot of people really liked Captain Marvel. Okay. As far as the MCU goes, that's probably my least favorite movie. And it had to come out like right before Endgame, so it has like that recency bias. They're like, "Oh no, it plays such an important part.
It plays a pivotal role."
It's like, I guess so. I mean, not to me. Not really.
I think mainly, if I go back and think about like horrible comic movies and try and pick out something, Green Lantern sticks out so much.
Green Lantern was bad.
It was bad, dude. I really. Yeah. CGI was.
Yeah, it was okay.
I wish they did some more on Sinestro or something like that, but HBO picked up on the series, so we should be seeing something.
We're gonna get some DC universe
from HBO
merged into the HBO Max thing, so that's
like Watchmen will tie in, I'm sure.
I'd like to see another Watchmen series. They don't have to do Regina King again, but they should do something tied into that.
His favorite actor.
I'm trying to get him onto that. Watching the Watchmen.
I think what I heard was if they were to do another one, they wouldn't play with the same role. It would be like going through like another chapter. Of
and I heard it would be a different era.
Right.
Like they go 10 years forward or something like that.
Be cool. I thought it was really raw. I thought it was grounded until Dr. Manhattan started blowing people's heads up and stuff.
It's okay. You can't argue. You can argue if you want, saying that like, there's not enough of the like the character development was there for her
Mm-hmm.
and Manhattan, and then a lot of times you didn't really feel like it was developed for a lot of other people.
Right.
But you can still expand on it if you want to do another series, and you can't deny 26 Emmy nominations.
No, man. That means they
You
did
can't
good.
shut it down
It's
for
a good show.
it was like ridiculous.
You know, I mean, they could spin off what's his name, Looking Glass, when
They could.
he had like a whole thing with the temporal thing and the psychic thing.
Dude.
It was really good. I really, really liked it.
If you haven't watched Watchmen yet, you got to watch Watchmen. You got to watch Watchmen too. You got to watch Watchmen.
Watch it.
Watch it. You got to watch it. Then you got to watch Tenet this weekend, and you don't watch New Mutants.
I think Tenet was one of those things that we waited so long, and it definitely did pay off. It was awesome. It was shot great. It was kind of confusing. For me.
Yeah, it was.
You know, I love this stuff. I'm like taking notes on my phone. People behind me probably getting pissed off, but I'm like, oh, this happened here. Is this happening again?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I felt like I was getting comfortable with everything that was happening, and then like an hour into the movie, I was like, I'm confused.
I'm confused.
But it was great. You were going to talk a little bit. You want to touch on this new character that might be taken under Batman's wing.
I think.
No pun intended.
I see what you did there.
We think this is what this might be happening.
I see what you did there. Clown Hunter. He is a young kid. His costume design is awesome. He carries around a bat with a batarang that he picked up from one of Batman's scenes.
And it's in the bat.
Yeah. Super cool. Wears a cool mask. I think what he's doing right now is running amok and helping. But what if he does get taken under the wing? What if he does become maybe a new Robin? Maybe not even a Robin per se. Maybe it might be another tier or rank. Because he does need some guidance, I feel. He's just kind of out there running amok, just kind of destroying things because the town is destroying things.
Right.
I think he might get some type of Bat Family role, you know?
Down the line.
I think Clown Hunter is the coolest name. Yeah, screw the Joker. I'm a regular kid.
Yeah.
He, two henchmen were driving the Batmobile down the city, and he used a portable, not a charger or something. It was a portable battery of some sort, and undid the fire hydrant between the water and the electricity. Was able to short circuit the Batmobile. I think threw a grenade in the top of the Batmobile and blew up the two that were in there.
I think too, like he's already laid the groundwork as to where he just can't be a typical sidekick either. And I don't see him going. He can't be taken under the wing of like Red Hood.
No,
because Red Hood's crazy, and he's just gonna do his own thing anyway.
Whatever.
He's always bickering with his other like outlaw group that he has hanging out with him. He's always fighting them,
right? And
they're his partners,
right?
You know, so I think it would be hard for him to take somebody like Clown Hunter under his wing. But I think potentially, you know, when Jason Todd was a kid, he was hot-headed.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Wayne,
stupid hot,
is crazy. Okay,
he just recently started to kind of get a little bit okay.
That's Bruce Wayne's kid,
right?
And he's
raised by Ra's al Ghul,
and he's a lunatic.
He's insane.
Okay, they could do something with Clown Hunter and make him, I think, a really cool character. Try to you got to reason with him a little bit. You got to bring him down a little bit.
Bring him down a notch. Go to the backstory. Why is he so pissed? You know what I mean?
Read the Joker War.
Read Joker War.
You got to read Joker War.
See what we're talking about.
Joker War, by the way, written by James Tynion.
Awesome.
That right now, like
legend.
We're just anything the guy's doing.
I'm eating it up, dude.
We're just all over it. Sonny is like caught up on something. He's killing the children. He's ready. Just he's been absorbing everything. Something killing children. It's awesome. And then he's got the new series that he's going to be collaborating with Della again at the end of September. That we think we're going to be getting maybe some connection between. We're not sure. We might be getting some connected. We're speculating that there's a connected universe between Something Is Killing the Children and a new title that Tynion and Della are working on at the end of the month, The Department of Truth.
And the artwork is awesome.
Dude.
So it could be, like you were saying before, like what if this department is investigating the House of Slaughter or one of them or one of the agents or whatever, and that's how they find out, you know, the connection. Because I want some more backstory on that.
and I think it's gonna be like kind of like a slow play
Could be.
because we know that something is killing the children has been optioned.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like anything that Boom Studios will put out is gonna get optioned, and then Netflix is gonna try to pick up the option on anything they can. We know they're gonna
Easy.
be doing a lot of stuff with Mark Millar. Obviously, I'm trying to think. The Old Guard was
That was good.
just recently. That's I'm trying to think of the name of the writer. He also wrote Stumptown, and he wrote Wonder Woman. When Wonder Woman did the rebirth, he wrote the first 25 issues.
Sick.
His name's gonna come to me in a minute. That's old man disease, and it's it's been great. But we're talking about what we're going to be reading coming up, and what we're looking forward to reading in the next coming days and weeks. Tonight we'll be watching something.
I was gonna say reading or seeing.
Yes.
Boys season 2.
Yeah, can't wait. Greg Rucka is the name of the writer. I just remembered his name.
There it is. 2 minutes later. You did good.
There it is.
You did good.
I got it.
What do you expect or what do you want differently or newly from Boys season 2 than what you got from season 1?
Well, I like I like all the characters, just how they interact.
Yeah.
I love Mother's Milk.
Yeah, he's badass. I like him. I like him.
They're all crazy, and I mean, it's like I want to just give people like a full disclaimer. It's like it's an incredibly violent show.
So adultish.
Just understand that it's like we're rating it teen. It's not teen. It's
definitely
it's an adult show.
Yeah, it's way adult.
It's very inappropriate.
It's toned down from the show that it is in the comic.
Oh, the comic's worse.
It's very bad.
The comic is bad.
It's bad.
Yeah. It's rough. So, I'm just looking forward to just like let's expand this universe a little bit more. I mean, it was 8 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and the 7, I mean, obviously shady. We're going to get probably more information or more backstory or context to Black Noir.
That's my favorite.
I mean,
he's dark in the comics.
It's oh my goodness. I mean, I think that I've heard that the season's going to be 8 episodes again.
Yeah, and they're like releasing the 3 first and then one once a week.
Once a week. So we get the first 3 episodes this week, and then so we're gonna do when we get home. Probably gonna watch that tonight.
Yeah, I'll watch it for sure.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Picked up some new books this week.
Nice.
We got the was it We Only Find Them When They're Dead. We got that.
Yeah, this is my homework. Let's see.
That's Al Ewing. Al Ewing is currently working on. Well, he was part of Empire. We won't really mention that, but he was writing Immortal Hulk. He's been writing Immortal Hulk for that whole run.
Nice.
And I think he's gonna be doing this one. This is an ongoing series. It's a really just bullet points, really broad strokes. They are deities in outer space that are dying, and these people are scavengers. There's different groups of scavengers.
Okay.
They're harvesting the bodies of these deities.
Okay. Like
and some of the deities may or may not be dead. And it's
so like the material that I'm sure they're resourcing has got to be like some crazy whatever they're using it for, without giving it too much away.
It's nuts. Okay. Then of course we got X of Swords or Ten of Swords. I'm not sure if I'm even calling it the right thing, but it's X of Swords, Ten of Swords. That's a Marvel crossover thing with all the mutant titles. That'll be starting up at the end of next month, I believe.
Artwork on that is awesome too.
It's going to be awesome. We're excited to see all these Hickman. He's going to be outlining this big storyline. If you ever read Powers of 10 or House of X, I mean, those are 2 ridiculous
House of X
miniseries.
is one of my favorites, bro.
It's awesome.
So good.
He's going to be outlining all that. He's going to be the architect for that. That's going to be cool.
Nice.
We got Joker War Part 4. We're reading that as well.
That's going to be sick.
And I got suggested to pick this up, and then when he started explaining to me, he sold me on it. The guy at the LCS. Shout out to Warren at Maximum. I'm going the wrong way. Spy Island.
Yeah, say it. Tell the people a little bit about what you told me, because you sold me on that. Easy.
So it's a spy. It's a mystery. It's a spy that is stuck on an island that intersects with the Bermuda Triangle. It's a 4-issue miniseries. It's put out by Dark Horse. I didn't know anything about it until yesterday, and I walked into the LCS, and he started spieling it to me, and he sold it to. I'm not a hard sell. If I go to the comic book shop
and it looks good, sounds good, I'll take it.
I usually leave with more stuff than I planned on picking up. That's usually
the curse, man.
I'm a sucker about that. So we're looking forward to reading that stuff. Obviously, we're looking forward to reading The Boys.
Seeing The Boys.
What did I say? Reading it?
Yeah, we're not reading it.
I'm going to read it too. I've never read The Boys.
It's good.
I read Cliff Notes.
It's so much more violent and adult rated. You know, if you're okay with some of that, and it's a lot more. It's a lot different than the show.
So my old roommate, he actually read all of it when the first season came out. He read all of it
to kind of catch up on it.
And he sat there by the bonfire, and he talked for 6 hours about The Boys, and I felt through osmosis that I had read the entire
right, you already read the entire.
He didn't take a breath. He just told me everything about it and broke down every category of every character and just went for it. Just he didn't. I don't even know if he stopped for air. It was pretty incredible.
But that's what sold you in the beginning.
It sold me, and I'm really looking forward to this season in particular. I think it's going to be great.
It's basically like if Netflix or HBO got like a parody superhero show, but it was real. Superheroes and supes are in everyday life, but they're almost like celebrities, and some are bad and some are good, and
right.
It's really good. I'm excited for this. I'm really excited because I know it'll have a 3 and a 4, maybe even a 5 seasons. You know, it's good.
We're looking forward to it. I mean, the way that they've mapped it out for 8 episodes, I mean, they're going to have plenty of.
They want you to stick in.
And I think they're going back to. They're going to have a one shot. There's like a mini series I think they just put out.
Nice.
About one of the background characters. So we'll see what that's about. So
Black Noir isn't who we think he is, and Stormfront isn't either. Just saying.
More spoilers, more inside stuff.
I'll have a theory that I take 46 notes on pretty soon.
We've got our Something is Killing the Children masks on the way. I'm tracking it every day.
I'm doing the whole next episode with it on.
I like that. Well, I got to get the one for the baby for Robert, and then we have ours, and then we can wear them next week, and we can talk a little bit about the colors of the mask and the rankings. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Okay, cool.
This is going to turn into a Something is Killing the Children podcast.
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
But guys, we just want to say real quick, thank you so much for the support. We appreciate.
Thanks, guys.
All the comments that we've been getting. You guys reaching out saying, I have no idea what you're talking about, but we enjoy listening to you guys.
It means a lot.
Talk, and it's, I had a friend just stop me and say, I watched 10 minutes of that thing. He's like, you guys are nerds. And I said, I appreciate that.
Thanks, bud.
that you checked it out for 10 minutes. But we really do appreciate you guys' support and taking the time to listen, and we want your comments, and we want to hear what you guys think. You can follow us on the Insta at Into the West Comics, and we just look forward to talking to you next week. And Wonder Woman's only a month away.
That'll be interesting.
We've got I have some ideas for what we could do for that weekend when Wonder Woman opens. I think it's the beginning of October. We have an idea.
We should do Wonder Woman leotards, sit on the couch, and do our whole segment.
I'm ready. If I put on a Wonder Woman anything,
I'm paying money.
Okay, you're gonna pay money. Well, side gig. So let's start a Wonder Woman OnlyFans. So for myself, if I put on anything like that,
demonetized.
I will never. I'd never be able to take it off.
I still want to see it so bad.
I have to cut it off.
Yes.
Wow, it just went to a different place.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Much love. That's Frank. I'm Sunny. See you guys next week.